Unit number 1, Management Process. Chapter number 1, Principles of Management. Choose the right answers. Question number 1. Management is what does? Option A, manager. Option B, subordinate. Option C, supervisor. Option D, superior. Answer: Option A, manager. Option A, manager. Question number 2. Management is an: Option A, art. Option B, science. Option C, art and science. Option D, art or science. Answer: Option C, art and science. Option C, art and science. Question number 3. Scientific management is developed by A, Fayol. B, Taylor. C, Mayo. D, Jacob. Answer: Option B, Taylor. Option B, Taylor. Question number 4. Dividing the work into small tasks is known as A, discipline. B, unity. C, division of work. D, equity. Answer: Option C, division of work. Option C, division of work. Question number 5. With a wider span, there will be which hierarchical levels? A, more. B, less. C, multiple. D, additional. Answer: Option B, less. Option B, less. Short answer questions. Question number 1. What is management? Answer: Management is goal oriented and it is an art of getting things done with and through others. The practice of management helps to achieve the organizational mission and determines the future of the business enterprises. Question number 2. List out the management tools. Answer: accounting, business law, psychology, statistics, econometrics, data processing. Question number 3. Who is a manager? Answer: the person who looks after the management of the organization is known as manager. A manager is a dynamic and life giving element in every business. Question number 4. State the meaning of authority. Answer: authority is the issue of commands followed by responsibility for their consequences. Authority means the right of a superior to give the order to his subordinates. Question number 5. What do you mean by span of management? Answer: the span of management refers to the number of subordinates who can be managed efficiently by a superior. Simply, the manager having the group of subordinates who report him directly is called as the span of management. Short answer questions. Question number 1. Define management. Answer: to manage is to forecast, to plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate, and to control. Henry Fayol. Management is a multi purpose organ that manages a business and manages the manager and manages worker and work. Said by Peter F. Drucker. Question number 2. Is management an art of science? Answer. Management is neither a science nor an art, but a combination of both, requiring people holding managerial positions to apply the scientific management principles and displaying popular managerial skills to accomplish the organizational goals as efficiently and as quickly as possible so as to be competitive in the globalized environment of business. Question number 3. Differentiate between management and administration. Meaning, management, an organized way of managing people and things of a business organization, is called management. Administration, the process of administering an organization by a group of people, is known as the administration. Applicable to management, profit making organization, that is business organization. In administration, it is applicable to government offices, military clubs, business enterprises, hospitals, religious and educational organizations. Decides, in management, who will do the work and how will it be done. In administration, what should be done and when it should be done. Question number 4. What are the principles of Taylor? Answer. Science, not rule of thumb. Harmony, not discord. Mental revolution. Cooperation, not individualism. Development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Question number 5. What determines the span of management? Answer. The span of management has two implications. Influences the complexities of the individual manager's job, determine the shape or configurations of the organization. Long answer questions. Question number 1. Write about the contribution of Drucker to management. Answer. Management is a multi-purpose organ that manages a business and manages manager and manages worker and work, said by Peter Drucker. The practice of management are, Drucker stresses three jobs of management. Number 1, managing a business. Number 2, managing manager. Number 3, managing workers and work. Even if one is omitted, it would not have management anymore, and it also would not have a business enterprise or an industrial society. According to P. Drucker, the manager has to balance and integrate three major jobs of a business enterprise, as mentioned above. Hence, a manager is a dynamic and life giving element in every business. Without efficient management, it cannot be secure the best allocation and utilization of human, material, and financial resources. Question number 2. Explain the management process in detail. Answer. A process is something that what a person does in the context of his individual duties and responsibilities assigned by his or her immediate higher authority. Management is regarded as a social process because it is already concerned with management of human resources in order to secure cooperation and teamwork from the people in their performance. There are twin purposes of the management process. Number 1, maximum productivity or profitability. Number 2, maximum human welfare and satisfaction. There are 5 parts of management as a process: the coordination of resources, the performance of managerial functions as a means of achieving coordination, establishing the objective or purpose of management process. It is that management is a social process. It is in cyclical nature. Point number 1, management is coordination. The manager of an enterprise must effectively coordinate all activities and resources of the organization, namely men, machines, materials, and money, the four managements of management. Point number 2, management is a process. The manager achieves proper coordination of resources by means of the managerial functions of planning, organizing, staffing, directing, or leading and motivating and controlling. Point number 3, management is a purposive process. It is directed towards the achievement of predetermined goals or objectives. Without an objective, we have no destination to reach or path to follow to arrive at our destination. Point number 4, management is a social process. It is the art of getting things done through other people. Point number 5, management is a cyclical process. It represents planning, action, control, replanning cycle that is an ongoing process to attain the planned goals. Question number 3, describe the principles of scientific management. Answer: at this juncture, Mr. Frederick Winslow Taylor, that is F.W. Taylor, brought about a scientific approach to managing the workforce after his experiments with the African and South American slaves employed in a coal field in England. His aim was absolute harmony in workplace for overall productivity of the organization. Principles of scientific management propounded by Taylor are: science, not rule of thumb; harmony, not discord; mental revolution; cooperation, not individualism; development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. They are explained in brief as follows. Number 1, science, not rule of thumb. Answer: in order to increase organizational efficiency, the rule of thumb method should be substituted by the methods developed through scientific analysis of work. Rule of thumb means decisions taken by manager as per their personal judgments. According to Taylor, even a small production activity like loading iron sheets into box cars can be scientifically planned. This will help in saving time as well as human energy. The work assigned to any employee should be observed and analyzed with respect to each element or part thereof and time involved therein so as to decide the best way of performing that work and to determine the standard output for same. Number 2, harmony, not discord. Taylor emphasized that there should be complete harmony between the workers and the management, since if there is any conflict between the two, it will not be beneficial either for the workers or the management. Both the management and the workers should realize the importance of each other. In order to achieve this state, Taylor suggested complete mental revolution on the part of both management and workers. It should always be kept in mind that prosperity for an employer cannot exist for a long time unless it is accompanied by the prosperity of the employees of that organization and vice versa. It becomes possible by A. Sharing a part of surplus with workers. B. Training of employees. C. Division of work. D. Team spirit. E. Positive attitude. F. Sense of discipline. G. Sincerity, etc. Point number 3. Mental revolution. The technique of mental revolution involves a change in the attitude of workers and management towards each other. Both should realize the importance of each other and should work with full cooperation. Management as well as the workers should aim to increase the profits of the organization. For this, the workers should put in their best efforts so that the company makes profit, and on other hand, management should share part of profit with the workers. Point number 4, cooperation, not individualism. This principle is an extension of principle of harmony, not discord, and lays stress on mutual cooperation between workers and the management. Cooperation, mutual confidence, sense of goodwill should prevail among both managers as well as workers. The intention is to replace internal competition with cooperation. Both management and workers should realize the importance of each other. Workers should be considered as part of management and should be allowed to take part in decision making process of the management. Point number 5, development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Efficiency of any organization also depends on the skills and capabilities of its employees to a great extent. Thus, providing training to the workers was considered essential in order to learn the best method developed through the use of scientific approach. To attain the efficiency, steps should be taken right from the process of selection of employees. Employees should be scientifically selected. The work assigned to each employee should suit his or her physical, mental, and intellectual capabilities. Point number 4. Question number 4. Explain the principles of modern management. Answer. Number 1. Division of work. According to this principle, the whole work is divided into small tasks. The specialization of the workforce according to the skills of a person, creating specific personal and professional development within the labor force and therefore increasing productivity, leads to specialization which increases the efficiency of labor. Point number 2, authority and responsibility. This is the issue of commands followed by responsibility for their consequences. Authority means the right of a superior to give the order to his subordinates, whereas responsibility means obligation for performance. Point number 3, discipline. It is obedience, proper conduct in relation to others, respect of authority, etc. It is essential for the smooth functioning of all organizations. Point number 4, unity of command. This principle states that each subordinate should receive orders and be accountable to one and only one superior. If an employee receives order from more than one superior, it is likely to create confusion and conflict. Point number 5, unity of direction. All related activities should be put under one group. There should be one plan of action for them, and they should be under the control of one manager. Point number 6, subordination of individual interest to mutual interest. The management must put aside personal considerations and put company objectives firstly. Therefore, the interest of goals of the organization must prevail over the personal interest of individuals. Point number 7, remuneration. Workers must be paid sufficiently, as this is a chief motivation of employees and therefore greatly influences productivity. The quantum and the methods of remunerations payable should be fair, reasonable, and rewarding of effort. Point number 7, the degree of centralization. The amount of power wielded with the central management depends on company size. Centralization implies the concentration of decision making authority at the top management. Point number 9, line of authority or scalar chain. This refers to the chain of superiors ranging from top management to the lowest rank. The principle suggests that there should be a clear line of authority from top to bottom, linking all managers at all levels. Point number 10, order. Social order ensures the fluid operations of a company through authoritative procedure. Material order ensures safety and efficiency in the workplace. Order should be acceptable and under the rules of the company. Point number 11, equity. Employees must be treated kindly and justice must be enacted to ensure a just workplace. Managers should be fair and impartial when the dealing with employees, giving equal attention towards all employees. Point number 12, stability of tenure of personnel. Stability of tenure of personnel is a principle stating that in order for an organization to run smoothly, personnel, that is, especially managerial personnel, must not frequently enter and exit the organization. Point number 13, initiative. Using the initiative of employees can add strength and new ideas to an organization. initiative on the part of employees is a source of strength for organization because it provides new and better ideas. Employees are likely to take greater interest in the functioning of the organization. Point number 14, esprit de corps or team spirit. This refers to the need of managers to ensure and develop morale in the workplace individually and communally. Team spirit helps develop an atmosphere of mutual trust and understanding. Team spirit helps to finish the task on time. Question number 5. Discuss the implication of span of management. Answer. The span of management has two implications. Number 1. Influences the complexities of individual managers' job. Number 2. Determine the shape or configurations of the organization. The span of management is related to the horizontal levels of the organization structure. There is a wide and a narrow span of the management. With the wider span, there will be less hierarchical levels and thus the organizational structure would be flatter. Whereas with the narrow span, the hierarchical levels increases, hence the organizational structure would be tall. Both these organizational structures have their advantages and the disadvantages, but however, the tall organizational structure imposes more challenges. Since the span is narrow, which means less number of subordinates under one superior, requires more managers to be employed in the organization. Thus, it would be very expensive in terms of the salaries to be paid to each senior. With more levels in the hierarchy, the communication suffers drastically. It takes a lot of time to reach the appropriate points and hence the actions get delayed. Lack of coordination and control because the operating staff is far away from the top management.